Welcome back, sports gamers. It's the Natural with Sports Gamers Online, and we've got some Madden 16 connected franchise CFM info here, and we could not be more excited. This is our favorite mode in the game. Huge CFM guy in a bunch of leagues, and all this info looks amazing. If you haven't seen it already, go over to the site and check it out. We've got it up on the front page, and they just released this info today. We're going to do a quick little breakdown here of the info that's been released. And so we can see here, the first up, playing faster in the mode. They've worked the introduction flows when we work to get players to the game faster. When loading in the CFM, this cloud option they have here should be the only option for online leagues, and it looks like a great addition there. Dynamic drive goals. This one here looks pretty interesting. It looks like this would be like a make or break feature, because it looks great. Looks like it has the ability to be a great mode, a great feature. Each drive contains a drive goal that be completed for bonus XP or confidence. It could be really amazing, or it can be the newest confidence, the newest version of Madden 15 confidence. So it seems like each drive, depending on what your drive goals are, different drive goals for each player. But I would really hate for this to influence people's play calling too much, where they're forcing the pass or the run to achieve a goal. This really pushes more focus on stats and possibly stat padding and abuse by players. I'm not sure I'm a fan of this. We'll have to see how it goes. You know, if you're up big, does it still make you pass, or does it give you incentives to leave starter ends to pad their stats so they meet their goals? You know, how does this work for defense? You know, if you have a defense, a low scoring game, that means both teams lose XP and confidence because they're playing good defense. You know, this is of all the dishes, I think this one really needs, we need more info on to kind of understand how, if we like it or not. Post-play goal feedback. This is a great feature here, a fan feedback feature. XP and confidence appears at the bottom of the player, the screen, each play, and a ticker goes across so you can see the progress and shows updates on all goals. Really great feature for coaches to see their players' goals. I used to go in before games and write down my goals that I was really close to each player. Towards the end of the season, I would do this so I can try to make sure I meet my players' goals by year end. Because we all know, if you didn't hit those goals, it was down the tubes for your older players, and then when that speed goes, you know, you're pretty much done. So also this feature is gonna mix in with the broadcasting as well, so this should be pretty cool setup, and we can see how that works out. The weekly goals and goal loading screens. Weekly goals were refactored from the ground up, implement a new quest-like system that chains goals together week to week. These goals are assigned based on performance, position, career status, and team-based individual. This is a great feature here. It should really increase the depth of CFM. Goals seem to be more individual for each player and more specialized, reaching goals that will basically unlock other goals, which that's huge for depth of CFM. Currently, many goals aren't realistic. It can be very hard for a wide receiver to catch 100 passes in a CFM season, or for a linebacker to get 100 tackles, unless you're playing on 15-minute quarters, which most leagues don't play close to. Maybe it's like, you know, anywhere from 6 to 8 or 9 minute quarters. Also, it's cool they added that negative stats also more affect confidence. They're tied to progression. You know, this one kind of worries me, as we know confidence was a big misstep by EA in Madden 15. So hopefully it's not too killer. You know, definitely if a quarterback throws, 3 picks in a game, it should affect his confidence, but hopefully it doesn't like tank it for the season, where it takes you a whole season to get that back up. So, hopefully that they worked out and tuned it, and they said they had 2 people working on the CFM all year, Madden 16 CFM. So hopefully they fine-tuned it to bring that balance that the mode needs. So this looks pretty cool. Things to do. Connect the franchise hub is more streamlined, and players can find what they need faster than ever, which is great. They streamlined the interface so it's easy to locate things you need to. I know it was a struggle for me and other players at times to find the right screen where you're like, well, I know what this is, but I'll have to go in here and go through there. And so it's really good they kind of streamlined interface, which is good. You get in and get out, do what you need to do. The visual team depth chart. You can check out the pictures on the site and have a picture of this up, and it seems it's different. It's kind of like MUT. Not a huge MUT guy, so it kind of turned me off initially. it isn't like I'm a huge fan of this, but I'll definitely hold judgment until we can get our hands in the game and we can go through it and see. We should get our hands on the game at E3 this year, so we'll have some definitely details for that for you guys as soon as we get them. This is like something that might grow on me over time. It looks interesting. It looks like some more of the streamlining that they're doing for CFM this year. So and it looks like it's going to be a good addition, but I have to see more about that. For the player cards look great. Looks really cool. They got a big improvement there. Gives players attributes, breakdowns, and everything without having to scroll left to right on the screen. This is really cool, because currently the player cards are pretty much useless. I can't say I even really use them that much, but here with the newer ones in Madden 16, you can see the goals, stats, contracts, trade block, and also release and edit players all for one screen. Again, nice streamlining there in that one. New scouting and the combine. Scouting has been reworked from the ground up, and it will be added to the things to do list there. And the basic concept is you'll be spending scouting points on the player and learn more about his abilities, and then decide if you want to draft that player. It sounds good, but really the big balance here is going to be cost of points per unlock there. They really have to balance that and see how much it is. For if it's too much, it's going to be a struggle for players to scout enough guys. If it's too little, you're going to have the whole board wide open, which takes away a little of that. So very important. To fine tuning and balance is going to be very important for a lot of these features here. But I do the combine looks really great. They have the combine stats now. They're going to open up on NFL Combine where you're going to get the 40-yard dash, the vertical jump, the broad jump, 3-cone, 20-yard shuttle, bench press. A lot of the stuff they have at the real NFL Combine, and you're going to see those results for the players, which is great. It's going to be wide open to everyone. That's pretty cool. I love the idea of the combine. I really feel that players might just go after the fastest or strongest guy every year, though, without looking at many of the stats. Like, hey, I didn't even scout this guy, but he runs a 4.3. I'm going to draft him. So we got to see how that works out. It's also definitely a cool feature to finally get the combine into the game. I'm curious if they're going to have players who sit out the combine where you won't know, or will they have just everyone have combine stats for. We have the draft feedback here. Great addition. The draft screen is total visual overhaul and much needed feedback. After selecting the player, you'll be able to immediately see the player's attributes and where he was ranked, and provide immediate feedback on whether or not you made a good pick. And that's really cool, because currently you have to actually back out of the CFM and come back into it during the draft to see more info on the player you selected. It still doesn't give you everything, but it gives you a little bit more info. But that's cool. That's a much needed feature that should have been in already. The members list, new members list panels allow players to quickly interact with fellow league members in the cloud franchise. You can see their game status whether they're online. That's great streamlining feature, as the previous team player screen is not very useful at all. Just shows team and player. The sim win. Thank you, EA. League commissioners can influence wins by using the league schedule. Sim-A-Win allows you to set the winning team for any games not been played. Thank you so much. Commissioners have been asking for this feature a ton. This is huge for CFM Madden commissioners. No more replays for disconnected games. You have to play the whole game over. You can just, the commissioner can decide and decide the win there. Hopefully commissioners can set the exact score as well, because you don't want a guy won big and got a good amount of points, and then you give a win and again they win by 3. It doesn't really matter, but some guys can get kind of upset about it. So hopefully you can set it, kind of set the stats back, or at least the score back to what it was close to. Free practice, another huge feature players ask for. Coaches and owners can take their team on the field to experiment using free practice. They do have game prep available during the week, but you can use free practice at no cost. Everyone's been asking for this for a while. It's really awesome. Great feature, a community feature there. Now you can play with your team as much as you want. You still can't play with, right now what we're seeing here, you can't play with your team outside of CFM. But hey, this is a good feature. It's a step in the right direction. No complaints here. Great job, EA. Confidence tuning. Confidence has been greatly tuned in Madden 16. We've decreased the amount that confidence changes for each player, and also adjusted the ratings per position that can go up or down depending on how confidence impacts them. Also, a new game prep activity has been added to the preseason, which allows players to improve their low confidence before the season begins. We've also increased the amount of time each team has game prep each week. Great features, great tuning. This is a much needed fix here, because confidence was one of the top gripes for issues people had with Madden 15. Definitely would like. I see that they give you more points for prep and give you that ability in the preseason to up your confidence, but I honestly would like confidence to just reset at the end of each season, or at least reset once. Also a reset when a new coach joins the team, because it's terrible. It really hurts CFMs when you come in, a new coach comes in, to a team, and the team is tanked down, their confidence is low, and that, really in real life, when team is even a losing team, when they get a new coach, they get more confidence. Like they should, or at least make it where you gain plus 20, plus 30 confidence per player when you get a new coach, when you get a new regime in there. Just like NFL, that's one of the most hopeful times when a team signs a new coach, when they sign a new GM, etc., that they get confidence. So it's kind of crazy that a team loses the season before and they go in the next season with the same confidence, regardless of who's the coach, regardless of who's the coordinator. That's pretty bizarre, but at least they're working on it. It seems like a good fix there that they got in place. I look forward to seeing this one. Owner mode, financing, tuning, small market teams, and older stadiums. Now I have more money to spend in the offseason every year. It's a good fix. Most of the CMs I play in are coach only due to issues with people kind of messing up teams in owner mode and different problems with owner mode. So we're mostly just all coaches, but hey, that's good. More features, more streamlining. It looks like EA's done a really great job with these CMs. It looks like they're really focused on it. A lot of people are down on EA and saying they only care about MUT, but for me, seeing these features here, it looks like they've really done a lot with CFM. They really worked and tuned it, but we want to see more, and when we get more details on CFM mode, we're going to get it to you guys as soon as possible. When we get our hands on the game, when we get video, just always check back. Just check the site, www.sportsgamersonline.com. I'm out. See you guys later.